It has been a minute since I posted a video. I sincerely apologize. Please don't charge it to my heart. I have been busy, tired, going through changes and all kind of stuff like that. So I have been a little bit out of commission, but I'm not here for the excuses. It's just real life, you know. Definitely still trying to work on getting some type of schedule going to where I can be consistent. I've been saying that since I've started vlogging, is that the one thing I wish I could do is be more consistent with my videos, and I am failing miserably at doing that. So I hope that you guys don't lose interest in checking in when I do post, because I really feel like the things that I touch base on are topics that need to be discussed. So today I wanted to talk to specifically the ladies. I know a lot of my topics are geared towards women and mothers and single parents and things like that, but I can't help but to gravitate towards those topics because that's who I am. That's my life. Those are the things that I've been through. So I can only talk about things that I know about, because I'm never going to try to touch base on a topic that I have no familiarity with, because I couldn't be genuine about it because I haven't gone through it. So I'm only going to touch base on things that matter to me and things that I can attest to. So today I wanted to talk to single mothers, or just mothers in general out there, who are kind of stuck in a complacent spot in life. I find that a lot of us, we don't salute ourselves enough. You know, it's something, I can't even put it into words, but it's something about being a mother who, I mean, we do some astounding things. We figure it out every time. We don't have time to be down on our luck. We don't have time to, you know, sit down and cry about it. We don't have time to soak. We always have to come up with a game plan to get things done. And that's whether we have a partner with us or not. Because I even find, even though I'm in a relationship, as a parent, as a mother, not just a parent, but as a mother, I find that I have a heavier load when it comes to the kids because of his work schedule. So I'm always the one that's, you know, catering to the kids in any way, shape, or form, because his work isn't very flexible with his schedule. So I'm responsible for picking up, dropping off, after school activities, all that good stuff. That all falls onto my plate. But when I was just a single parent and I wasn't in a new relationship yet, everything, you know, was always on me. As a mother, we don't have time to take a break, because you have that child that's looking up to you as the person that's going to have the solution always. You know, the kids don't care if, as a mother, you're going through heartbreak, you are working a mediocre job that's barely paying the bills, you're not getting any financial support from the other parent. The child is looking solely to you as the mother. They're not looking at their dad, who's not there, who's not providing anything, no emotional support, no financial support, nothing at all. They're looking at the mother. You know, what can you provide to me? Because they feel like that you as the mother is all that they have. There's always going to be a different dynamic between a child and their mother opposed to a child and their father. Of course, they're going to have their own bond, but it's something about a mother. Our kids derive from us. They come from our womb. They're always going to have something from us as a mother. So that connection is always going to be different. And as a mother, you're always going to set the standard for your child. So your child is always going to look to what my mother did, you know, to see kind of that'll kind of set the tone for them when they are getting older. You know, they will look back at what their mother did. You know, how hard did their mother hustle? How was my mother's work ethic? How far in life did my mother go? How hard did she ride for us? How hard did she go to ensure that I like our kids can never say, oh, we came from the struggle. We came from the bottom of the barrel. We came from, not having running water, electricity. My mom was living paycheck to paycheck. My mom's car was getting repossessed. My mom never made anything, less than minimum wage. Like, I work as hard as I do so that my kids can never say they came from the struggle. And I encourage other women to break that cycle, because it has to start with somebody. And instead of looking for somebody to do it first and then you fall in line, you do it first. What's wrong with you to where you feel like you're incapable of being the person to break that cycle? You don't have to wait for someone to do it. You have the authority to break those cycles so that your kids, can look up to you and not know anything other than what they see is the norm. A lot of us in my generation, what we saw on a daily basis is not normal to other people. We saw some crazy things. We grew up in some very unfortunate, circumstances, but that's not always the norm. Like, what I want my kids to experience as the norm is not the same as what I saw growing up as the norm. And, it may not have been me personally. I was, always blessed with, a nice roof over my head, food in the house, all that good stuff. I didn't need for anything. But there, things go on behind closed doors that some people could not imagine. I grew up around certain situations and things behind closed doors that I would never allow my kids to, go through those type of things. But, those are all lessons that, we learned, and things that I grew from, and things of that nature. So everyone has their own, unfortunate circumstance that they grew up around, and this and that. But the whole basis of it is, don't let that set the bar for you as to when you become an adult, to where you feel like you can't get past that. I know so many women who are like, all right, my relationship with my kid's dad didn't work, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is get this apartment. I'm just going to work this little job, and I'm going to just, make it, robbing Peter to pay Paul, living paycheck to paycheck, and, I'm going to just coast it. They're not reaching their full potential. They're not allowing themselves to be stretched outside of their comfort zone so that they can exude a level of success that they can't wrap their heads around. And I just want for so many women to just reach that level of confidence in themselves to where they can walk in their purpose and hold their head up, make themselves proud, make their kids proud, make those naysayers who feel like they are like God's gift to the world prove, and then I retract that, because it's not about proving a point to anybody else. I want you to prove a point to yourself. A lot of the times we are the ones that are in our way because our thought process is so small. It's crazy how so many people don't have the faith in themselves. They don't believe in themselves that they can be more than what they are, than what meets the surface. And as soon as you switch that mindset to yes, why can't I? Why can't I? Do those things that I want to do, and you can. So I encourage someone to get out of their comfort zone, allow God to use them and show them what their purpose is, so that there can be more. Sometimes now I don't push my religion on anybody. And Lord, I'm not perfect. I'm still learning, but I have a very, very, very strong faith, belief system. And a lot of the times I just feel like God wants us to make that first step. And in making that first step into something new, it's us showing him that we're trusting that he'll be on the other side of that fear, on the other side of that doubt, and he will bridge the gap. Sometimes he just wants us to move. And so many of us are so stagnant. We're like, well, I'm not going to really go ahead and do that because I don't know how I'm going to, get fulfillment from it, or I don't know how I'm going to get somebody called and interrupted my video, but like I was saying, I don't know how I'm going to get financial gain from that, so they're scared to step out on that. They may say, well, I don't know, how that's going to go over with my family. I don't know what they're going to say if I do this or if I do that. But if you're walking in your purpose, you're doing what you were called to do, you're doing it genuinely, everything else will fall in line. So I know I harp a lot about women, finding their purpose and walking in their light, is because I have a very strong passion. I commend women on a daily for, trusting themselves enough to get out of their comfort zone. I love to see people just outside of the norm, what we think is the norm, and just doing things to elevate themselves, educating themselves, and not just education in the form of what you learn from school. There's so many other ways to educate yourself, whether you're reading, self-help books, if you're attending seminars and webinars, and just connecting with other people who are actually doing something with themselves, and not just connecting with people who don't really have anything to bring to the table. That's not going to help you elevate yourself. I love to be surrounded by people who are knowledgeable in other areas that I have no knowledge about, because then they can teach me something. I don't want to be around people who are on the same level as myself, because we're not really helping each other grow, because we're all on the same level. I put myself at tables where I belong with people who know more than me, because I'm a teacher. I'm a very teachable person. People are able to teach me. I'm able to soak up all that information. Don't block your blessings by, ignoring, the female next to you, or turning your nose up to the female that's next to you, because that could be the very person that can help bring you to a table. So maybe the Lord just knew I was going to a petty area, because my video kept getting cut off. But I'm just going to close now and just say again that I just want to encourage somebody today to break out of their comfort zone and work towards a new goal for themselves. Break those barriers. Don't allow, how you grew up, or, what you were raised around to define who you are. And remember, ladies, to pat yourself on the back, okay? You are phenomenal. I'm sure you're doing the best that you can when it comes to raising those kids. Don't let anybody tell you that you're doing anything less than. I hope that you guys walk into the week in favor, and I'll see y'all later.